let's get started.
Perfect.
Okay. All right, so just making sure everybody knows, this presentation is going to be recorded, so you will get a copy of this. We are going to have a short survey following the webinar, and we want this to be interactive. So in that bottom tray, like Jen was just mentioning, we've got the Q&A feature there. So we have subject matter experts who are ready to answer questions about the product releases we're talking today. So if you have something off topic, just let us know and we'll follow up after the webinar.
All right.
So Jen, let's go ahead and go through to the first slide. So these are your takeaways. This is what we hope that you will enjoy and take away from this webinar. And we're so excited to share with you highlights from our recent releases that we've made in RedTeam Solutions over the last few months. And we'll be sharing some really cool things that we're working on that will be released soon. And so we'll try to make sure that we're really calling out what's now and then what's coming. We love to hear from you. And so we're listening, and we try to build in as many of your suggestions to improve your RedTeam experience in your day-to-day life. Now, there are too many feature updates and new releases to discuss them all today. But don't worry, we've got links included at the end of this presentation and that we're sending out so that you can look and read more about that in the email that you'll receive. Again, want to make sure we're calling out there's a survey. This is for Jen and I to review, and I promise you we read everyone. We really want to know what you think, and we'd appreciate your feedback. This is an entirely new webinar. Let us know, was this helpful to you? If not, give us some pointers of what you'd like to see. So let me go through the lay of the land. We're going to start with RedTeam Flex. We're going to then go through a combo of features for Flex and Fieldlens, and then the grand finale is a big impacting date on RedTeam Go. So, if you're not familiar with everything that we have at RedTeam, let me just take a few minutes to explain. But before I do that, I've been so rude and I haven't said hello. My name is Betsy Hoyt, and I'm the Vice President of Product Management. And with me
is me, Jennifer Leacock. Some of you guys know me as the product manager for Flex and for RedTeam Go. And so I'm really excited to be here. Betsy and I are going to show you guys all kinds of new stuff in all of our products today.
Awesome. So let me just give you that brief rundown. RedTeam is construction management software built by experienced contractors for contractors to help mitigate the challenges you face in construction, because we get it. Construction is very complicated. Having control over your schedules, safety, quality, and costs make your projects run smoother and maybe just a little bit sweeter for your day. Let me go over next of RedTeam Flex. It's our highly customizable construction management software. It's designed to help mid to enterprise level contractors manage their construction projects from start to finish. For those workflows that demand advanced integrations and configurability, we got you covered. All right, moving along to Fieldlens by RedTeam. This is our job site management software. Efficient, real-time collaboration, field, office, and subs that reduces that rework and miscommunication that we all despise. It's a mobile-first solution that's highly collaborative. And if you haven't seen it, check it out. There's some really great things on the web that you can see how it might help your job site. And then finally, RedTeam Go. It's easy to use construction project management software. It's designed to help simplify, automate, and standardize tasks for small to mid-sized contractors who are looking to save time and money. This software is built for GCs that want to get up and running. So Jen, are you ready to dive into all the cool things that we want to show our clients today?
Absolutely. I'm excited to share these things with you guys. Like Betsy already mentioned, we're going to go in sections. So we're going to talk about some Flex things. We're going to talk about some Flex and Fieldlens things. We're going to talk about Go things. What I'll try to do is, pause after some of those sections to make sure we've, answered some of your questions. Drop those questions in again in the Q&A at any point. We're going to keep an eye on that. So please, this whole idea is to be interactive. We want to hear your feedback and your questions about these features. But I'll go ahead and start on the next slide. So We're going to start. This is a RedTeam Flex. You'll notice that on the left-hand side, just a little call out here has a little info on which product the feature applies to, as well as who benefits the most from these features. So just keep that in mind as we go through all of these. But we'll start, of course, with the cost estimate upgrade in RedTeam Flex. Now, I'm very hopeful that most of you on this call who are Flex clients right now have seen this, because I'm sure you're all putting in new work, new bids, getting hopefully lots of jobs. And so you've ideally already seen this. But if not, this is already available today. This is live in your database in Flex as of today. And if you haven't seen it yet, that may be because you don't have a job that has it set up to show it. And that's going to happen automatically. If you go into a new project, and keep in mind our bidding status in Flex is the request status, a new project and request status will automatically default to this new cost estimate. But if for whatever reason you're still using our classic cost estimate, you will see a toggle on the top of the page to be able to toggle to the new one. We highly recommend it because this new estimate upgrade is truly an upgrade. It's a much more streamlined, fast experience. You will see how quickly you're able to build an estimate using this new cost estimate. It works a lot like a spreadsheet. So very similar in that you can write on the screen, add items, you can adjust quantities and amounts and all of that without having to, for instance, open another screen to make those changes. So right on that screen, you're doing it. It's auto saving, it's auto calculating, updating those totals in real time, and it's super fast. So we highly encourage you to try it if you haven't already. Like I said, it's already there and ready for you to use.
Oh,
you're going to
and we have a quick
some polls. Yeah, by the way.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what
yeah. No, sure, Jen. It's so these are just to give us some feedback, because I think we both miss being able to talk to people face to face. And so here's a couple poll questions that have come up. So please give us your thoughts as we're going along.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you. All right, perfect. Let's move on to the next one. So this is actually a feature. It's known as TeamPlayer. Some of you guys may already be using TeamPlayer. If you are a current Flex client, keep in mind that this is something available to you again today. This is live. And TeamPlayer is a mobile application that could also be used on web that connects with your Flex subscription and allows your vendors and subcontractors to submit their bills through the TeamPlayer app. Now, there's other things that they have available in that app as well. They can see things like their contracts, any subcontracts you issue to them. They can see the status of important information like their credentials and lien waivers. But most importantly, they have the ability to submit those AIA style pay apps. And the nice thing about this, of course, is that it works with Flex and makes it really simple for your subcontractors to submit billing. So I actually sat down with one of our clients who told me that before using TeamPlayer, he spent probably 10 to 20 hours every month sitting down with subcontractors who would come into his office and say, I don't know how to put my pay app together. And he would have to sit down with them and put that pay app together. And now he just sends it through TeamPlayer. And if that subcontractor has a question about how to put his pay app together, he can contact our support team. We have a support team that's available that will actually walk your subcontractors through putting together the pay app. And keep in mind, all of the schedule of values items that they need to enter their payment applications against are already there because they come from the Flex commitment. So when you've built that commitment in Flex, that's already then set up for TeamPlayer. So they just simply bill against that. And then there's no overbilling. There's no issues with that. It automatically generates an AIA style application for payment that also is uploaded directly into Flex when they submit it, routed automatically for approval through the same process that already exists there in Flex. It's a really great tool. It's a huge time-saving tool for both your project managers and your subcontractors. Now, keep in mind, this is all, like I said, already included in your subscription. You could go to the apps menu in your Flex subscription, and you could start setting this up. You could configure this. Also, please feel free to reach out to our support team or to your client success manager for help with this. They can absolutely walk you through setting up the subcontractors that you want to be using TeamPlayer, making sure that you know how to get the commitment set up the way you want to send it, so that it's available in TeamPlayer and billable in TeamPlayer. That's included with your subscription. Keep in mind there is a EAP fee, but this is something you can offset to your subs. They can take on that cost of submitting those fees, those EAPs, and then again, automatically all of this is routed directly into your Flex database. It's great.
That's outstanding.
Okay. Now, I did get a question came up, and I do want to answer it here because we're talking about TeamPlayer, which is, if you don't have your accounting integrated in RedTeam, is it still beneficial? Absolutely it is. And that's because we still have, keep in mind then, RedTeam Flex will still facilitate and automate that process of, again, one, keeping the subcontractor honest to the schedule of values, no overbilling, right? We're preventing that overbilling so that they can only bill against that schedule of values. It also then facilitates the whole approval process, because in Flex, you can set up your custom approval workflow, however you want those invoices routed around your organization for approval. So that whole process that, a lot of times is very much manual, no more, taking a paper copy around the office. It'll route automatically to the various inboxes of the people in your organization who need to approve. And then finally, they get to that last, whoever you've designated as that final approver, who can also at that moment, not only see all of the detail of what was entered by that sub for their billing, but see the status of their lien waivers, the status of their insurance credentials, and any other credentials you require them to have in order to receive a payment. And all of that's done inside of Flex. And then you have a nice executed list. And from there, you could even go in and your accounting team could filter and pull a report of all of those executed ready to pay invoices and go ahead and enter those into your accounting system. Ready, and that they're ready to pay, and there's no concern about what items might be missing or who hasn't approved. It's all in Flex. So it's a great tool. Absolutely.
That's pretty powerful, Jen.
Yeah. We really like this one. So definitely, if you have not used it, like I said, feel free to reach out to our team if you want some help in getting that all set up. All right. So that's the end of our first section. We're going to move into a next section here for RedTeam Flex and Fieldlens. And so these are going to be some updates and releases that are related to both the Flex and the Fieldlens by RedTeam products. All right. We're going to start here with the drawing annotations. So drawing annotations, again, something that is live today. This was an update that we made that has two main features to it, both the red line markups annotations feature and the markup and attach feature. And again, like I said, this is something that can be done both in Flex and in Fieldlens. What this is markup tools. So drawing annotations, markups, you can see kind of on the screen here, some of those options. We included all of the most common annotation tools, highlighters, the ability to attach an image or a link, or put a cloud around, a certain area, draw different shapes. You can see there, free-form drawing, insert pages, all kinds of tools here, right? And you can do this both in either a red line markup, which is something that you can then mark up and publish, which shares it with everybody who has access to your drawings. So for instance, if you have a plan room, an online plan room that's set up automatically when the project is created. And so when you publish redline markups, those will show up automatically on those drawings in the plan room. They'll show up when those drawings are included with your contracts, everywhere that we include those drawings. Now, alternatively, you may have a markup you want to do and share only with a select group of people or a certain person. And so that's where the second option comes in, markup and attach. And there I could go in, make some annotations, and then attach it to an RFI. And this will only then, that markup will only live within that RFI. So if I need something specific to the architect, to the engineer, to the owner, and I have a question about it, I can certainly use that markup and attach option as an alternative. And again, like I said, this is available in both Flex and Fieldlens. Right. Okay, let's
That's
go.
pretty exciting stuff. I mean, that alone is really powerful. And
Yeah,
on both
absolutely.
Flex and Fieldlens, outstanding.
Yeah, and the nice thing is, you know, you don't have to then have a subscription to any other type of tool to do this. You do it directly inside of Flex or Fieldlens, your preference. Okay, the next one, also related to drawings, is the overlay comparison. And if you haven't used this tool yet, I highly encourage you to do it because it's available at any stage of the project while it's an active project. Could be while you're in the bidding phase, could be while the job is already fully in progress. And what it is the ability to take two drawings and overlay them and see the differences, right? And this could be two versions of the same drawing, right? So obviously we get addendums and we get changes from the architect and we get new versions of our drawings, and all of those get uploaded into Flex or Fieldlens. And at any given time, you might want to compare, you know, maybe the original version to the latest version or any of the versions you've had in the past. Or you may want to compare a certain drawing to any other drawing in the set, right? So maybe you want to take the electrical, mechanical drawings, similar ones, put them on top of each other and see the differences. You will be able to do that. You can see again, kind of on the screen here, an example of that. This is coming from Fieldlens, where you can see here selecting the two versions you want to compare. It'll put the old document, new document, and the comparison, which actually calls out in colors here. You can see right there, it's telling you at the top, you know, which version you're looking at, which is great. And obviously these are huge for when we have changes and we want to know, you know, what's different about these new versions or between any two drawings. All right. Okay.
We got another poll question coming up.
Yep, more polls. Yeah, so please vote on those if you can. All right, moving down to now, of course, the Flex and Fieldlens integration. Another one that again is included with your subscription. You would just simply need to, if you're a current Flex client, for example, you would need to set up a Fieldlens account and connect it in your apps menu, just like we're talking about with TeamPlayer, very similar. You set that up in the apps menu. This integration already has some live features. You can see right there in that integration map what we're talking about, some of those features that are really important. And really the goal here behind this integration was to give you access to the awesome features that Fieldlens has for field collaboration. So field collaboration is of course huge. Now Flex does have a mobile app that's great for things like your daily reports and all of that. But if you want a little bit more collaborative tools, we have Fieldlens as an option. And Fieldlens has a whole user interface that lets you manage drawings and create posts. It's all based on posts. So again, very much communicative, collaborative, and gives you the ability to see, you know, everything that's going on in the job site, right? And you can see here what kinds of things we can sync. So already right now today, we can send projects directly to Fieldlens, the team members, all those contacts, all the drawings that you have in your plans and specs, and all those revisions, of course, that come later. We can create RFIs. And when those are closed, we have that again, you know, going back and forth. And we can also see punch list items that are created in Fieldlens inside of Flex. So these are all features available today, but I'll mention that we have more coming. So we are even right now working on another phase of this integration to add even more functionality to that. For instance, more functionality as far as the RFIs are concerned. So bringing in the answers from your RFIs and other comments and things like that. These are all things that are coming as well. But right now today, you could start using the features you see on the screen. It's an absolutely great tool. I even see, I love, you know, we got a comment in here about, you know, you love Fieldlens. Yes, we do too. It's really a fantastic tool, especially for the field. It connects all of those different parties that are on the job site. So definitely another one. If you kind of like with TeamPlayer, if you want to try this out, your current Flex client, feel free to reach out to us if you do need any help getting it all set up.
Yeah. Hey, Jen, can I jump in for a minute?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I hope you guys are seeing a theme here. We want feedback. We want to get information from you of how we're doing. So for those who are using the Flex and Fieldlens integration, I've been working on a email that's going to go out just to get ideas of, you know, what you like about it, where you think we need to spend a little bit more attention. And then as Jen had mentioned about, hey, we're working on making RFIs even more robust. Well, do you want to influence what we're working on next? We could use that information. And so I'm going to send out another survey on this specifically and as an email. And I'd love for you, if you're using this, to pay attention and give me feedback. Again, I read them all, and you can have a direct influence on what we do next to increase and the build out of this integration, because we think it's pretty cool, but we want to know from you for certain that you're loving all the things and what we can do to make your jobs easier.
Yeah, perfect. So that's very true. We always want that feedback. We're always looking for it. So definitely keep an eye out for that survey. We would love to hear from you guys. All right. Okay, so I think that covers, oh, no, I'm sorry. Move too fast. So drawing hyperlinks, let's talk about another one. Now this is coming soon. You'll see in the top here, the little coming soon call. So this one, unlike the last few things I've been talking about that are available today, this one is not just yet, but it's very close. So very soon, you are going to have this drawing hyperlinks feature, again, in both Flex and the Fieldlens by RedTeam app as well. This is, again, more drawing enhancements. We've been doing a lot, as you can see, a lot of enhancements with our drawings, and this is just the latest one in that list. And what this drawing hyperlinks feature is going to include is both the automatic and manual creation of hyperlinks. And what that means is links to other drawings. Now, right now, in the drawing markups, the annotations we previously talked about, right now, you could add a link, for example, like a URL. That's already available today. You could go in and using those tools, there's a link option, add a URL, perfectly fine. That exists. What this will give you is some even further functionality, but specifically, it's going to let you link from one page to another. Now, you could do that manually, right? I could go in at any time, maybe I want to add a little note, something about referencing another page that's in the set. And then I want to go ahead and add a link to that page so that anybody reading that note, maybe again from my plan room, maybe from an RFI, they have the ability to just, see my note and click directly on the link that takes me to the page I'm referencing. That's one of the options. But even cooler is going to be the automatic hyperlinking. So what we are going to do is when the drawings are uploaded, we're going to scan those for any potential links. So we're going to look for the sheet numbers, and we're going to automatically generate a link to that sheet. So if we see something in there, S-101, we know that's a page number, and we're going to go ahead and look for that page that's already in your drawing list in Plans and Specs has been uploaded, and we'll go ahead and we'll put a link to it automatically. Now, you don't have to keep those, right? You will have full control over managing these hyperlinks. So kind of what you can see in this preview here on the screen is where you manage links. You'll see the ones that are created automatically, and you could remove those if for whatever reason you do not want the links, you could. Or again, you could add manual ones as well. But this is going to save a lot of time. It's going to save you a lot of time of sitting there and having to link to other pages. It's also going to save a lot of time to the people you share these drawings with, right? So anybody who, again, is visiting your plan room, the subcontractors, the architects, and anybody else that you have collaborating with on those drawings, will be able to use those links as well. So again, efficiency in the job site is huge, from both Flex and Fieldlens. They'll be able to open up, the drawing, look at it. Oh, there's a reference to another page, click it, and it'll take you directly to that page. And maybe on that page, there's going to be more links that you can also click to and move to. And that's the idea behind the hyperlinks.
And that's fantastic.
Yes, exactly. Now, somebody in the questions, it came up, is talking about hyperlinks in Bluebeam. This is going to be very similar. So mentioning Bluebeam here. This is just page to page right now, but I think if I understand what the question is asking about, being able to click the detail call out, you would be able to do that because, like I mentioned before, you could create a call out with a regular markup annotation, right? You could create a note, make a call out one, add some text there, and then you can also add a link right, on top of it, next to it, wherever you want that link, and it could then call to whatever page to get more detail. So yes, this is going to be doable. And I'm glad you mentioned something like Bluebeam. That's the idea here, is we want you to have to rely on fewer of those products outside of Flex and Fieldlens, and use them now directly inside of Flex and Fieldlens, and be able to have those tools built in. That's the idea.
Yeah. Hey, and I just I want to call out Charlie's enthusiasm. So thank you, Charlie, for saying you have a lot of thousands of hyperlinks and Fieldlens handles them all. So thank you for calling that out. It's one thing for us to say it, but people who actually use the software. So glad to hear it, that it's working great for you.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to this one. Again, another big drawing update. Okay. And then here, finally, we're going to talk about the Fieldlens mobile app. Yeah, so Betsy's excited about it, of course. This is Fieldlens, the Fieldlens you know and love. It's just getting a slight facelift. We are just rebuilding this application. We're doing that for a few reasons, right? Mostly efficiency. We're trying to make it faster. We're trying to create a consistent user experience. And we're updating the brand, right? So just to make it consistent with all of our other branding. So this is going to affect anybody who's using Fieldlens right now. Don't worry, we're not just going to delete the app one day. You're going to get notices, but you will have a new app to download and then start using. Again, it's not going to affect things like your login. You won't have to worry about that. You'll download the new app and just log in using your same login credentials. Nothing will be interrupted there. So not a huge change other than just it's a new app, and again, you know, a better app, a more efficient better app. So that is coming soon. Again, not available today. Continue using the current Fieldlens app, no problem, and you'll get the notification once this new one is available.
I can't help myself. Can I jump in again, Jen?
Of course, absolutely.
Okay, so I am very excited about it. Just to add a little bit onto what Jen is saying is, we'll have in-app banners to let you know when the new app is ready. So it'll be really hard to miss because I don't do subtle. So you'll be able to see in the application, hey, download the new app, and we'll be able to link that to the app stores. And just to add a little bit more flavor to why we're making the updates, in a lot of job sites, we hear people bringing their own device to work. And it's really irritating if you're trying to teach somebody where something is, and menus have slightly different names, and Android and iPhones all act a little bit different. And so it's hard to hold them in a sync. So what we've done here is, it really is the same experience regardless of the device you have, which then means we can do more mobile updates faster and be able to have consistency across your entire workforce. So we're really excited about it. Plus, it's the branding update. So now it is same iconography and everything else. So if you like what you're seeing on the web version, we'll now be having that for the mobile version. So really excited about how we're doing that. And you won't miss the details. We'll do emails, in-app banners, all the stuff. So even if your team is not on this call today, they'll see it.
Perfect. Yeah. So yeah, just a little more reassurance to anybody using the app now. It will be very obvious when it's time to switch over. So thanks.
Right. Oh, one more thing. Not only logins, but your project is this. You can work on your project one day in the old app, and you can switch over when the app is available. So there's no disruption in your service.
Right. Yeah. There won't be any interruption there. It's just a new app with, updated, slightly updated looks. It's faster. That's it. No need to start over or anything like that. So
right.
Perfect. Okay, so let's keep going. All right, we're going to move into RedTeam Go releases. So I know we have definitely also some Go clients on here. Of course, we don't want to leave you out. We have some excellent things to share with you on RedTeam Go. Starting with the WIP report enhancements. So again, our current Go clients, not huge changes, but very significant ones here. So the flexible WIP report here is going to be even more flexible by allowing you now to, for example, refresh this report and get the numbers in real time. If you're a current Go user, you know that previously we update, and we still do this, we update this WIP report every night. So every night those numbers, get rerun, get updated, and then you have, the next morning, your latest numbers for the WIP. Of course, a very important report, as we all know, for not just our operations team, but for our accounting teams. Sometimes we're sending these to the bonding companies. These are really important reports. So this is something that you could get the data now even faster. And that's just simply using the refresh option. You'll have this refresh option that'll reload and get all of the latest numbers as of right in that moment. So you don't have to wait until that evening to get your latest numbers. It's definitely a big deal here. The other thing that we added was some flexibility as far as what's included in the report. You can kind of see there on the screen that you can generate this now with just your active projects or include all projects. So you got a little bit more flexibility there of how you want to run those numbers. But again, getting all of that latest data, we know how critical that is. So we wanted to have these nice enhancements to just make this even better to use. So that's live today, not something that's coming soon. You can absolutely see those changes as of today if you go to your web. All right. And then probably my personal favorite here, right? So this is going to be new to a lot of you guys. Again, note the coming soon, even the very excited little call out there. We love this one. I, of course, am very excited about this, but this is the budget worksheet upgrade. So for the budget worksheet, again, many of you Go clients are very familiar with the budget worksheet. It is something that you probably use already right now, and it is getting a major update. You can kind of see here, we've called out some of these nice updates. So for example, the award subs page is now going to be combined into this budget worksheet. So instead of having two separate places, you're going to be able to do that whole process of awarding subs directly from the budget worksheet. That's a nice update. So we're trying to minimize the various places you kind of have to go in order to do different actions and put them all on one place in that budget worksheet. We also have enhanced filter options. We've got some new columns. I'm going to show it to you actually live here in just a minute. We have the optional forecasting option, and we have an adjustments log, which is going to track all the changes to the budget as well. I'm really, really excited about this one. I actually am going to share, because I'm so excited about it, I'm going to share it live here. Give me just a second to actually pull it up and show you. Right. Okay. So here I have both a unlocked and a locked budget I want to show. This is not live in your site yet, so keep that in mind.
Jen, I don't see it on the screen yet.
Oh, you
so
don't,
you
I'm
need
sorry.
To switch over screen.
That's my fault. There, can we see it now?
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Okay, so sorry about that. So this is not live in your site yet, although I am going to make a comment here and say that if, as you are looking at this on my screen, any of my Go users on this call, if you are interested in getting access to this budget worksheet early, we actually do have a few early adopters already using it, and we would be more than happy to have a call with you guys to discuss turning this on early. So if that is something you're interested in, you can definitely reach out to us. Again, either directly through your client success manager, through our concierge at redteam.com email, through chat, however you want to get that to us, that info, we'd be happy to have that conversation with you. But going back to that budget worksheet, like I mentioned, there are some additional columns here. Also, what you're seeing on this budget worksheet is the unlocked stage. So right now, this budget is unlocked. I can change my numbers here. Once the budget is locked, then we're going to move into a stage where we can actually adjust the numbers directly on this screen. And so, for instance, I can go in here and let's say I need to move some contingency dollars to another cost code. I can actually select all of the codes here that I need to be changing. I can make my adjustments right in here. Adjusting how much I want to take out of contingency, move to another code, right? Another cost item. I can add my reason, which is going to save all of that information in the adjustments log, where you're going to have a nice log here, adjustments log, you can see right there. It's going to track all of that. So now we know when money was moved from which cost item to what cost item, why, who did it, all of that detail. And this is an excellent update to this budget worksheet. It's eliminating the need to do an internal change order to move this money around, which is what a lot of you probably were doing in the past, to be able to move money from one bucket to another. And so no longer do you have to do that. You can just go ahead and adjust it right on this screen. So once again, keeping all of it in one place, trying to limit how much we have to move around inside of the application to do different things. We can do a lot of it right here. I mentioned earlier as well, the optional forecasting. I can turn on my forecast column if I want to, and I can start forecasting, getting my what ifs for all of these different numbers in my budget. So again, if you are a current Go user, I'm sure you can see, you know, how big of a change this is. Nice update to the way that you handle budgets right now, the award subs and so forth. And again, like I mentioned, it's even on a poll right now up on the screen. If you are interested in getting access to this early, we'd love to hear from you. All right. Move back.
And that's pretty awesome.
I think it's awesome. I'm, of course, you know, that's my favorite right now. I was so excited to share that one with everybody. So definitely a nice one that's coming soon. We will be rolling that out, you know, to all clients, of course. But if you want early access, let us know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, definitely. Feel free to raise your hand in QA or in any of the follow-ups that are coming up. So. Okay, and just a quick polling question if you're interested in getting that early access to start using that. So we promised information on what we were releasing. Obviously, we didn't go over all the things that we've done over the last few months. Jen and I are just representing a larger team that does a lot of work. And so here's a list of references that you can dive in deeper, discover more about the product deliverables that we did cover off on. We just chose a few that we thought were bigger impacting. Again, really appreciate your time today. We know how hard it is to carve out the time, and we hope you found the webinar informative. We had the idea that we should be showcasing more of the things that we've done for you lately. And so we want this to be your one-stop shop to go, here's my reference materials, here's what's coming up next. So I really appreciate everybody answering polling questions, shout outs, questions that you had. We hope that you found it helpful to have our subject matter experts answering your questions directly. Big thanks to Neil and Carrie for helping with that. We really appreciate you. And if you found this information helpful and your coworkers would be interested in it, please feel free to forward on this presentation when you get the link to it. And just going to say it again so that Jen and I really do want to hear your feedback. We read all of the surveys. So there's just this super short survey, just like a couple minutes tops, that'll be sent to you momentarily.
Exactly. Right.
And just take a pause to go, is there anything, any other pending questions? Looks like we're staying on top of everything. Again, thanks for the call outs to people of, I'm glad that you're happy about the updates that we've done on estimating and budget worksheets. Big woohoo to the team. And also thank you to the marketing team for these presentations run smoothly because we have professionals on staff that make us look good.
It's very true. It's very true. Yeah. So I want to make sure we spend a few minutes here, let anybody ask any additional questions that come up. I see a comment, nice upgrades to the estimate budget worksheets. Thank you. We are very excited about those. So we're happy that you guys are excited about them. Let's see. Other questions that are coming up here.
Is the old cost estimate going away?
That's a great question. And I know because of who's asking the question, you're talking about the flex estimate. That's a great point. Yes, it will eventually go away. It will. So that's why right now we did not want to just take it away. Of course, you do have currently the ability to use both. Right now in Flex, if you really don't want to use the new estimate for whatever reason, you have that toggle to use the old one. However, it is eventually going to go away. We won't just do it, you know, one day. We are going to be sending out notices to you guys well in advance to let you know once it will be converted. But at a certain point, your database will be converted over and will only support the new cost estimate, which is, you know, a much faster, much better option. So if you are in need of any training or support on the new estimate, because it is new to you, and I get it, we've got plenty of legacy users here who've been using the old estimate for a while. We totally understand. Change is different. It sometimes takes some adjustment. If you need any help, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. It's not going to change right away though. So we will eventually stop supporting the classic version though. Here's a great question. The fee for invoices / AIA pay apps through TeamPlayer. Someone else also answered this question. So the eApp fee is a $10 fee. It's a $10 fee per eApp. However, this is completely customizable. If you are to go into the app card for TeamPlayer right now, you could do this. If you log into Flex, go to the apps menu and go to your app card, you can see where actually you can configure that fee, how much of that you would like to offset to the sub. You could have them pay the entire eApp fee. So you could tell your subcontractors, I'm going to require, you bill through TeamPlayer and it's going to cost you $10 each time. Keep in mind, they've got our access to our whole support team. So they have help in creating those eApps before they submit them and have to pay that fee. They're going to be able to talk to us and make sure that it's all good to go, perfect before they go ahead and submit that. Or, if you want, you can also take on that cost of the app fee and charge your subs nothing. So you have that flexibility in your app card to make that decision, and you could change it at any point. Okay. And the markup function, we have a question about the markup function. Our markup function right now is just the annotations that you saw in that previous slide. In fact, I can kind of go back quickly and share it. So right now, drawing annotations here, and feel free to check it out in both Flex or Fieldlens. You can open any drawing on any job right now that's active, and you'll see these options. It does not currently have a square footage calculation. You are more than welcome to submit this as a potential suggestion for us to evaluate and see if it's something we could add in the future. Currently, though, no, we don't have one that does the square footage. And then another question about the old estimate, again, asking about that classic estimate when we do plan to get rid of it. Again, we don't have a solid date right now, but the question here kind of includes around the summer. Very likely, yes, that's what we're looking at. So it will be this year. So again, it won't happen just overnight. We will give advance notice when we are going to sunset that and kind of stop supporting the old one. But it's not like it's going to be next week or anything like that. So you will still have access to the classic version for a bit longer. You will get notifications as we are preparing to go ahead and turn that off for everybody. Right.
But why wait? Try it out. See what all the fuss is about. Again, we'll make sure that we have a very strong messaging campaign to let you know what the ramp downtime is.
Perfect. Okay. Great.
Then I think, Jen, are we ready to call it?
I think for the most part, yeah. If anybody does have any last minute questions, if not, if we didn't get to your question, it's going to be logged for us to follow back up with you. Right? Certain things are not related to the topics we talked about today, but we're definitely going to get you answers to those questions. So don't worry. We'll be following up after this with anybody who had questions. Like Betsy mentioned, this was all recorded and will be sent to you. Even the end of the slide, we shared some of those resources. You'll have access to those with the deck. So, keep an eye out for that follow-up from us.
Yeah, and don't close your browser right away. I know it's all of our immediate reactions. That survey is going to trigger. I promise you, it's just 2 minutes, real fast. We really would like to hear from you. And then if you did have some additional questions, that's a great place to do it. And we can follow up with you afterwards. Okay. Thank you all for your time. It was really wonderful to get to showcase a few things. Hope you really enjoyed what Jen talked about. You couldn't ask for a bigger advocate of here's something cool and all the different things that we had to do. And so again, look at the reference materials. We certainly didn't go over all the things, And you can read more, see videos and so forth on everything that we've launched over the last few months.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you, everybody. We really appreciate your time today.
Thank you.